Touch New Zealand's coverage of the Northern IPS is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse and One Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome from a lovely Rotorua International Stadium here in the Bay of Plenty. Welcome to the 2019 Bunnings Northern Junior IPS, comprising 88 teams from 8 provinces, from the far north to the Bay of Plenty, competing in the under 10s, 12s and 14 divisions at both girls, boys and mixed grades in elite and development. Focus here is on fun, enjoyment, participation. Big part of our sport. I'm privileged today to be joined in the commentary box by the most capped international player in touch history, our very own Mr. Touch, Peter Walters. Welcome, Pete.
Kia ora, Shano, and kia ora everyone out there. I know we have people on the streaming from around the world, and kia ora to everyone around the world. I'm looking forward to this fixture coming up next. It's Te Tai Tokerau and Waikato in the premier grade at this tournament, the under 14 elite boys. Going to be a cracker.
The Tai Tokerau team's up on your screen now, whānau, and they are coached by Peter Pawhaiva. They are managed by Lisa Morgan, and the assistant coach is Jason Marsh. The coach for Waikato, Tamainu Huirama, assistant coach Mere Nock, and their hard-working manager is Jody Tawa. Waikato have gone through the day undefeated, and the Tai Tokerau team, very strong and physical group of young men out there. This should be a physical clash, Pete.
Yes, and looking forward to the different styles. To Tai Tokerau, very physical. As you can see, a lot of big boys in there. And Waikato, not so big. They've got a couple of tall boys, but a lot of their boys have come through from the 12s last year. There's 6 or 7 of them from the 12s. So, but they go very good. I know their coach has got some really good systems in place. I haven't had a look at the Tai Tokerau yet, so looking forward to see what they bring to the table.
Both these teams heading to the end of their first day of tournament, so there'll be some tired bodies out there. They'll be looking forward to getting off the park at the end of the day and getting some rest and recovery up in some of the beautiful lakes and the beautiful Rotorua. Pete, anything you think we should be looking for in either of these two teams?
Well, I know there's some key operators in the Te Tai Tokerau lineup. There's the boy, I think it's Leitaje Berryman. There's Riley Ranui, Rangiwai Lunovic. They've been standouts to this point and played well last weekend. In Waikato, likewise, a number of individuals. Hiraka's been good on the ball. Hiraka, Waitai Hainga. Yeah, they've got good boys who can yards. Kobe's on the ball a lot as well. They've got a really good spread of attackers in this team, where anyone at middle and link, because of the plays they run, can be on the ball and making those vision decisions.
And the game's tapped off with Waikato starting the game, coming from our right to the left. Hot on attack on the Tai Tokerau line. Coming down the open side, dive to the outside of the Tai Tokerau link. Referee checks with both referees, and that's an early touchdown. Pete, what did you see on that replay?
Yeah, it's a set play that they've been running today with good success off a tap-off. So everyone knowing what their roles are, getting their timing right. No errors on the strike dump, and they bring a sweep around, and they have a 3-on-2 option, and that option there, the link dived in for the touchdown, so well done.
Waikato 1-0, Tai Tokerau quick back to halfway and make strong inroads into the Waikato defensive half. 8 metres out now from the Waikato line, looking to set. They bring it back to 3-3 middle.
Setting up here for a 32 peel play.
Rangiwai Lunovic.
Passes to the wrapper, good defence by Waikato.
Back to 33 middle. Lunovic in there. And it's a handover. Waikato will get it 8 metres out from their line, looking to run a box set.
I like what Waikato are doing. They have these set options, kick starts as you call them, coming off their line, heading towards their box. They get their tied ones off, their fresh ones on, and looking to set up for a finish.
Fifth and final here to Waikato, going short side. Numbers on the short side. Dummies looking for someone to connect with. Is that down? Looks like he got that free. The ref's checking with the sideline referees. He's happy with that. Touchdown Waikato, 2-0.
Yeah, it looked like Hiraka there scooping on it. It was a play that finished middle. He scooped, went short side, and the winger there managed to lose his mirror defender and get the ball down quickly. Another touchdown to Waikato.
Pete, to try and diffuse that situation, any thoughts on what the Tai Tokerau defence might have done there?
Yeah, look, it was close. The defender was on him. He just, once you're in a man-on-man or mirror defender like that, you need to not look towards the ball, just be watching your man and stay within touching distance. So if he gets the pass, you make the touch before he gets it down.
So Tokerau send a sweep around the backside. Coming back in field. Touch count 4. Back to middle here for Tokerau. They'll be looking for a strike dump. Jamal Enright working now. 32 pick. Looking for long ball. Wingers up. Holds. They go man. Winger makes that touch.
Yeah, Waikato very good on their defence. Whether to hold, whether to shut, whether to recover and just tread. They seem to be getting their reads right on defence.
Far side box play now. They send it to middle, drawing numbers over. Big run down the outside here for Waikato. And they make it to the 10-metre line. Tokerau, however, the ref saw a forward pass, it looks like, off the ruck there. And he's brought it back. And it'll be tapped to Tokerau on the Waikato 10-metre line.
Yeah, Te Tai Tokerau really need to, when they attack the line, I'd like to see them attacking with more speed and putting a couple of speed sets together so they're scooping or running their play off some speed as opposed to slowing it down all the time.
Tokerau set again in the middle for 3-3. Nico Bote Manning in there. Coming back open side. Waikato defence up for that. Underneath his point middle, but referee's not happy with the Waikato boys making the 5. Making the score line. Penalty, Tai Tokerau. Waikato come up off their line now, sending 2 middles up. Touch is made, looks up the short side. Tai Tokerau slow the ball down again. Waikato send up their left middle. Right middle coming up now. Makes a touch. Sweeper coming from Tai Tokerau. Waikato in tight, looking for the step back. Tai Tokerau another middle set. 32 pick. Here comes the bus. Looks long, but Waikato are up to that. Shut that down easily, and they look to box off.
Yeah, Te Tai Tokerau running a lot of. They've run about 32 peels now, but the strike dump is actually touching on the link, which means they have numbers when the primary comes in. So they need to look to probably dump on the middle if they want to create the overlap.
Waikato running a lot of bow, helmet plays back to the centre. Referee's not happy with the touch in there, saying the Tai Tokerau players been an obstruction in the ruck, and Waikato will get a valuable penalty 15 metres out from Tai Tokerau line. Tai Tokerau back just inside their 5 now. 2 middles from Waikato set. Organising middles, communicating. They run a 33 peel, looking open side, into the link.
Yeah, Shana, this has been their main play that they run as a 33 peel, and they have all the options. They have key guys in the decision-making roles with the skill to throw long passes as well, and everyone just runs their line. So another touchdown off a 33 peel for Waikato.
That takes our score to Waikato 3, Tai Tokerau 0, as they come down to the Waikato 10. Punching forward now, 10 metres out from the Waikato line to Tai Tokerau. Step back. Waikato nice and tight underneath that touching middle, ensuring any step back is nullified. 5th and final, go short side. We've got the chase on, and successful mirror there.
Yeah, their defence has been very sharp. Piripi did a couple of, was on the shutdown early in the previous touch, and then the other middle there for Waikato for the shutdown mirror. They're going really well through the whole field, whether it's defence or yards or their line attack. So they're looking quite sharp at the moment, Waikato.
Waikato attacking again now, 10 out, running short side, 3-2 short side, draw pass, dive. What's the referee say?
Looks like ball down.
That's correct. And Waikato take a 4-0 lead into the first half. Pete, you'll be being a northern man yourself. You'll be happy to see the re-emergence of Tai Tokerau teams over the last 3 or 4 years and some of the results they're compiling on the way.
Oh, totally, Shano. And there's lots of great work being done in the far north with the Tai Tokerau. A lot of these coaches, like Pete Paviva here, him and Jodo, and a lot of those coaches from up north have been consistent for 4 or 5 years now, and it shows by the number of teams they're putting out there, not just at the junior level, but also at Opens. And I know at Masters they've got about, I think, 4 teams coming this year, which might be a record. So really proud of the work that they're doing in those communities in the far north.
I've heard that for the first time in a long time, Tai Tokerau will also feature a men's open team in the men's open division this year, Pete.
Yeah, men's open, and a lot of boys that live in the city, if you like, in Auckland, are going home to represent their where they come from, and they've picked up some good young talent from the local boys up north as well. So I'm looking forward to watch them playing at the Opens Nationals, to Tai Tokerau men's team.
Waikato on attack here again. Coming half court there, and they'll hand over on the Tai Tokerau 5 metre line. Tai Tokerau looking to punch it out.
Shanna, really happy with the in these early stages on as we come to the end of day one, the standard of play with these teams. I saw a couple of 10s mixed games and some 12s, and and these 14s are really impressive. The understanding around the rules in the game has really improved over the years.
What a strike by Tai Tokerau, number 6 for Tai Tokerau. Jamal Enright busts through the middle of the Waikato defence, runs into the in goal. What did you see here, Pete, on our replay?
It looked like a middle scoop. I'm not too sure what the setup was. It looked like a W, and he just scooped, got underneath the 2 defenders, looked like they were up flat, and got through with his pace. Support player was there, found his space, and touchdown.
Pete, talk to us a little bit about the importance of yards in this kind of level, in the heat and in the games that we're seeing here now. What are the things you look for as a coach in terms of yardage patterns? Well,
yardage will always, first thing I suppose before the yards is you have to get their individual skills right. And people talk about ruck domination. So at every ruck, and there's anything between 250 and 300 of them in a game, you need to get those ruck skills right. I mean, as we're talking, Shano, another touchdown goes into Waikato. They're really on top of their game here. But, yeah, look, ruck skills first, individual skills, so they can roll the ball properly without making error, knowing that if you've got the ball, someone's trying to touch you, that you have to make that roll ball without an error. So if you do those right, then you can do your yardage plays. And when you're going from one end of the field to the other, the biggest mismatch in touch, obviously, is fresh versus tied. So you want to be winning the territory fight, getting down the other end, more regular than your opponents, then you will score touchdowns.
Waikato did that successfully there, running bloopers off the end of that where they swept the middle around, swept the link around, and the open side link came in between, got the ball back and passed inside to another player. Nice bloopers play by Waikato on that last touchdown. Tai Tokerau hand over on the 5, and Waikato now looking to send it over to their box and get some fresh players on. Echoing what Pete says, fresh versus tired.
I notice a lot of teams at this tournament, the boys' grade especially, when they sub off, they'll ruck to their box. And when their middles and links from the far side sub off, they'll just creep up the sideline and be available for a pass, so that if the defending winger, goes infield to make the touch, they just dish off there and they get a sneaky one down the sideline. It's quite a common play with a couple of these top teams.
Waikato drop on the 5 metre line. Quickie open side. Well read by Tai Tokerau, and to hand over Tai Tokerau ball.
This area of the field here, from a defensive perspective, is good to have some systems whereby you really put pressure on teams coming off their line on their yards. If you can attack their attack and get some success and force them to do something different, like throw an extra pass, that works well for a team. It means that they'll get down to your 10-metre mark or thereabouts, just past, and they have to score their last touch 20 metres off your score line.
Tai Tokerau hand over to Waikato on the Waikato 10-metre line. They'll roll ball there, and they'll head midfield, looking to head to their box now. 3 minutes to go in this half. Neither side will be wanting to concede a touchdown at this point of the game. Waikato running open side, short ball, manages to get that away. Good player chopping into the hole, supporting the player with the ball. Touchdown, Waikato.
You'll find that the teams from the bigger cities tend to have more higher level and regular touch. And it looks that way with the Waikato team. They've done lots of training. I'm not saying that Tokerau hasn't, but their players come far and wide from all over the north, way more travel involved, so it's harder to get players together. At the end of the day, you want many hours together so you can get your systems down pat with all your players, and if you can't get that, it makes it tough.
What's the state of module touch up in the far north, Pete? I know you go home there for Christmas and that. Modules running pretty strongly up there, Pete, or
yeah, they don't have the massive numbers and the amount of modules, but Kaikohe, Whangarei, Kaitaia's got a module. They tend to congregate around the Whangarei, Kaikohe area, or most of their players will tend to come from there. If you get Kaitaia players, and the faraway places, obviously they have to travel, so they've got to spend a couple of hours to get to training, which is a little bit different to what the Waikato boys would do. They're all a lot closer than that, and in Auckland it's even easier, so it's tough for these rural areas because there's a lot more travel and cost involved.
Great run there by number 7, Ty Clyde, doing some powerful yards. Unfortunately, error there, and Waikato secure the ball. Minute 15 to go. They'll be looking to finish with a strike and get another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, let's see what play they decide to run here. So it looks like they're organising now on what play they want to run. It's a 33 peel again. And
this time come back short side, Pete.
Yeah, and they end up coming back short side. He had a look, and I think that was... I just couldn't quite see who that was. Let's have a look at it.
Might have been Creston Tonga there.
Yeah, so he read it well, and he dived and got underneath the player, so well done.
Okay, our scoreboard here at the ground has Waikato 7, Tai Tokerau 1. Your Bunnings scoreboard on your screen has 8-0, so correct that, whānau. It's Waikato 7 to Tai Tokerau 1. And just a couple of seconds to go. Pete, coaching at this age group, what are you looking for to develop in players primarily at this age group? What should us coaches be concentrating on with these young men?
Well, yeah, a lot of them come from free balling backgrounds. So kids grow up and they're let to, in the younger grades especially, express themselves, if you like, for want of a better term. But certainly, once you get to this age group, you're opening them up to a lot more structured systems whereby everyone has a role, a defined role, and you may be an attacker, a defender, you're a middle, a link, or a winger. Some coaches will get even specific to say left side, right side, and then that game plan will involve you incorporating what your role is for the team.
And that takes us to half-time, whānau. Well-earned break for these young men in what's been a very hot, long day, and they've got to come back tomorrow and do it all again. So Waikato currently leads 7-1 at half-time, and going to spend a little bit of time now talking touch with Mr. Touch, Peter Walters. So, Pete, as you...
Well, a trend for wingers has been picking tall wingers, and I suppose you want long levers so that they do a lot of running. You know, they're either running a fair distance to shut down, or they're running a fair distance to chase out. They're expected to have a really good dive. They're expected to have good hands to catch long balls and get them down quickly. So those are some of the things that you're looking for wingers.
Inside them, we find our links. Skill sets that you look for when you're looking for links in the men's division?
Or being able to read what their defence is doing, and whether it's they need to run a chop line or they need to run a passive line or an out line, so they're not just watching their ball carrier and their players that are on the ball, they're watching their defenders. So you've got to look at both. You look at one, look at the other, look at one, look at the other, and time your run. So timing's also another thing. They have to be able to read whether to hold their depth or be shallow, because some players will require either or.
And the position where you spent the biggest part of your career, middle, what are you looking for there?
A middle, because you're on the ball a lot, more than the other positions, you need to be fit for a start. You need to be a really good communicator and specific with your comms. So we know the famous word in touch that happens with everyone is yeah. So it's got to be more than just yeah. It could be yes, yep, dump on him and go left, but it's got to be more than just yeah. So they're good decision makers. They've got to have good catch and pass skills, short passes, quick releases, and very good communicators.
And you've just come back from tours to the United States and Europe. What's the game development looking like there? Should we be worried? Are they catching up on us?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of work being put in USA, but more so up in Europe. They've gone ahead in leaps and bounds in the governance side of things. I look at England touch and Scotland and even Ireland, where I'm doing a bit of work at the moment, and the improvements really been great in recent years. They're aiming up for this World Cup, and they're looking at top 4 spots. So it's going to be an exciting World Cup coming up in 92 days' time, Shana.
Great for our sport. Back to the game, whānau. Tai Tokerau running right to left as we look at it, and they have the first tap off. Touch 2. Driving down the middle for touch 3. We're going to come to set at middle for touch 4. We're going to run a play here or a strike dump. Getting set now. Fifth and final. What are you looking for on that fifth and final, on that fourth play, Pete? If you're moving into a fifth and final touch, you want something pretty special off it?
Yeah, well, they've been running a 32 peel. I'd like to see them get their spacing right. It was too close to the corner there, so it gave the open side shutdown an easy option. And also, the timing of their runner, they need to hit that on the advantage line. The dumper needs to split. There's a lot of little things that need to happen to make it better for them. So, I mean, good on them. They're running through with what obviously are their set plays, but there's some finer points needed to have more option or more chance of them scoring off the play.
Tai Tokerau now working hard to get it out of their half. Unfortunately, error at the roll ball. Crucial area of our game, and Waikato will get possession. 15 metres out from the Tai Tokerau line.
Yeah, Shano, as we talked about before, those ruck skills, 70% of errors are made at the ruck. So whether you kick the ball or you lose the ball or he knocks it out of your hand, those are skills that have to be trained regularly all the time.
There's that 33 peel again, Pete, this time to the left-hand side. Throwing inside to the support runner, and another touchdown to Waikato. What did you see there on this action replay coming up now?
Yeah, let's have a look at the Shano as it comes up. Here we are. Yeah, 33 peel, and he just threw to the short option. Defender wasn't sure whether to shut or chase out. He chased out late, and the attacker got the ball down. So they're running some good options off that 33 peel, the Waikato team.
Another coaching question here for you, Pete. Sometimes teams can get away on you. What do you tell your teams when they're in a bit of a grind or hole or things aren't going as well as they want and they're not winning on the scoreboard? What are the things you recommend coaches concentrate on?
Well, that word you use about staying in the grind is common, and exactly that. So you want to cut the errors out. You want to just get back to basics and think of what is the next thing you as an individual have to do. Okay, I've got to get a roll ball and not make an error. So not making errors and just staying in, as you say, staying in that grind. If you do that and let the other team make the mistake, then that's a good thing.
Waikato now take the ball down their far box side, looking to get down the field as fresh players come on.
Yep, tied ones are off, fresh ones are on.
As you get into the attack zone, Pete, as an attacker and an organiser yourself, what are you looking for in the defensive line in terms of the personnel they've got there? Is there anything you're trying to spot?
Sometimes there is. Sometimes you may have, sought out a defender that's been on long. You may come on fresh, knowing that you've looked and you say, okay, well, that individual's been on a long time. You may go and hunt him down, or you're just setting up for whatever set play you may want to run.
Tai Tokerau now getting a box set, getting their tired players off, their fresh ones on, looking to get out of their half, relieve the pressure off their line. Lunovic there takes it forward. Some big boys in this Tokerau team. They'll be feeling the heat.
Shanna, we talked about Tokerau, where I'm from. Now where you're from is the Waikato, and I know you've been involved with much of the coaching development there in recent years. You happy with the state of the province?
Yeah, growing nicely, Pete. It's not a traditional touch province. It's a rugby province, as we know, but the game's growing there, and we've got a lot of good ex-players or current players working with their kids now that love the sport. So we're seeing huge growth in the sport in the Waikato, and making good positive steps, which is positive for our sport and positive for our game, and teams are starting to perform.
Yeah, and just as you say, they're Waikato in for another touchdown. Kobe scoring right in the middle of the field. They're running that 33 peel with a lot of success.
Some of the beauty that a lot of these provinces got is in the coaching and selection and the development of coaches. This Waikato 14 boys is an example. Mainu Huirama is also the coach of the Open Women's. His assistant coach has played New Zealand level. So they're getting a lot of experienced coaches in the game, teaching them a lot of that technical stuff, which is helping out players. That coaching's so important in our sport now. And so just encourage anyone out there who's interested in becoming a coach and getting better at your coaching, get in touch with Touch New Zealand, and they've got a lot of good things they can do with coaches to help us improve. Great attempt there by Tai Tokerau to score. That's Rangipai Lunovic there. He's on the ball again, having a go. Draws a player in. Unlucky. Great step by Lunovic.
Yes.
Looks like he's hurt his back in doing that.
And a great diving touch by Hiraka as well on defence of the link. Waikato drive out now.
Those yards very controlled, Pete. They're getting a lot of flow off their yards.
Yeah, and showing their fitness. I mean, it's this stage of the game, and they're still going pretty. At a pretty good speed out there.
Okay, bit of trivia, Pete. Everyone was texting in and asking some questions. Pete, you've played with a lot of players in your life. If you had to name one special player for any special reason, who might that player be?
Oh, Shannon, that's a tough one. There has been. I've had the pleasure of playing with many good players over the years here and in Australia, and I really don't think I can pick one out, Shannon. There's been so many good players. I'm very fortunate to play with. So.
Seen Tūranga Nui a Kiwa, what we used to call Tairāwhiti back at this Northern IPS. Great to see some of these provinces that have a long, proud history in our sport back at this level. Yeah,
another province on the rise. They were to Tairāwhiti in years gone by. Now, with the name changed to Tūranga, so yeah, it is good seeing them and good seeing a lot of people from the past back on deck.
To reduce their errors and shut down any more scoring opportunities. And any whānau out there have got old touch photos from the day, from the 80s and early 90s, from those nationals. We're privileged to have seen one from Te Tairāwhiti come in, of the Tairāwhiti men's open team from 1993. But any other photos you want to post up of from some of the old school days, Touch New Zealand love to see them. Tai Tokerau still working hard, attacking that Waikato line. Caden Barker there, we're doing some good dummy half work for Waikato as they go forward. Big yards up the middle here. Accidental heavy touch there. Boys are getting tired. He's all right, back to his feet. Strong young men, plenty of good Waikato milk in him. Tai Tokerau looking to defend now. Such a huge talent pool up in the far north, Pete. Like you said, spread out over a big geographic area. Some tricky travelling though, but just some powerful potential there.
Yes, definitely. I know a lot of these kids from the far north, especially at secondary level. A lot of them, they do their schooling with a lot of the schools down in Auckland to progress their rugby. A lot of the boys from up there that I know of that are in Auckland, and a lot of them come through the touch system. It's good to see. Touch is such a great sport for those that want to progress on to professional sport like the Sevens.
Tai Tokerau now making good yards through the Waikato half. Scoop here from Tai Tokerau. Just under 6 minutes to go in this game. 10-1, Waikato lead. Pete, talk to us a little bit about recovery. So what's some of the recovery that the team should engage in this afternoon when they get back to their accommodation after 4 games?
Well, a common one is hot and colds, like getting in some ice. It shocks the blood and spreads it from the big muscles. So yeah, it's a lot of them I expect, and I know I've seen in the past, especially with Waikato having my young fella plays in there. So they've used the ice baths and heat, so you can go from hot to the shower to the ice baths to move that blood back around, make you feel good as new the next day. So obviously getting in a good meal tonight, lots of carbs, and if they've got the luxury of having a masseuse, then they can even get there. Even at this age, they're looking at getting rubs now, and then a good night's sleep, mate.
So my pie, Coke and a Kit Kat, that's not the winning formula?
No, it's changed from those days, Shannon. That's gone. It's gone.
Waikato will go in there 11-1. So Tokerau still working hard, still trying hard, not giving up. Setting for 32. Comes back open side, short ball. Passes back off to his other middle. Rangi Pai, Lunovic. 3-3 scoop. Lunovic running.
Yeah, good shape by the Waikato team there. So he's got to hand the ball over. You can't throw the ball away like that.
Lunovic a little bit frustrated there. Ref reminds him about the sportsmanship required, and it'll be a tap, Waikato.
I must say the sportsmanship has been pretty good overall from what I've seen today. I've been around since this morning watching every game, and overall it's pretty good. And even the standard of refereeing is quite good. I mean, they use this tournament for a lot of the young kids and some of the older statesmen, but yeah, look, it's the standard's good for the refereeing. They've got to be developed somewhere, and these are great tournaments for developing referees.
Waikato on that 33 peel again, but they go open side, what we call a plus or an uber, and touch going over. Well done to Tai Tokerau, great defence.
Yeah, another change up off the 33 peel, not actually feeding the hitter and just going back to the open side. Good play.
Impressed with the venue, Pete?
Oh, it's great, Shannon. I like how they've got fields all over the place and plenty of fields and all in good condition. It's a great venue.
Yeah, our compliments to Touch New Zealand for bringing the sport to this venue. A lot of happy parents and kids out there. I took it a handover.
Yeah, and Shane, I know they had the Australia-New Zealand Open series here, and it's certainly the weather's certainly a lot different from that series. That was pouring with rain. They actually called off one of the games, but being here now and seeing it in this weather is just awesome. I know the